All right, so same as usual, here we are again. Now check this out. So I see a guy right here in my center. He's wide open, and you standing right there. You wide open. You see a guy standing there. If you got a point guard's mind, a point guard's eye, you see everything, right? And you definitely gonna see something like this. So obviously, I want to pass him the ball because from my perspective, from anyone's perspective, this is an easy bucket. This guy, he's too far away to stop him, especially seeing as how dominant this particular center is. Now, I give him the ball, and even though I was lead passing him, or I was trying to, if you lead pass, you can get them to fall into a certain direction. You can get them to, if you want them to drive when you pass it and they're standing still, when you pass it, it'll lead them to the basket and make them fall into the basket. But 2K will not allow that to happen because you're going to see in a minute because they did not really want me to have this bucket, this opportunity to score. So I give him the ball, and instead of just, automatically falling into the basket, he catches it standing still. And now he has to go into this exaggerated animation where um, he actually starts to run forward. And if you look actually for a moment right here when he catches it, there's like a slight moment where it's like he slipped backwards a little bit, if you can, notice it. But anyways, and that was done purposefully also. All right, it's the little minute things that they do in this game that culminates into a desired outcome. All right, they don't want to. It's a build up. Every little meticulous thing it builds up into enforcing the outcome. But anyways, that ain't really what I wanted to highlight here in this video. Here's the part I want to highlight. All right, so now with a center like this, 7 foot, extreme athletic abilities, right? I play every game with this center. I know how he plays. In a moment like this is just dunk city all day, all right. But since the AI or the algorithm, really both, they're enforcing a particular narrative. I'm not supposed to score this bucket. This is an opportunity to score that they're going to take away from me because they don't want it. Now, instead of just dunking the ball, going straight up, dunking it, jumping from where he is, jumping from right here, look at the court. Here's what he does instead. Watch this. Boom. Now watch this. Now you see this. All of this is unnecessary. This is the type of things that 2K does to cheat you, but it makes it appear like it's not, like it's actual basketball that's happening. This is not basketball happening. This is the algorithm's way of enforcing the narrative. So they trigger certain animations in order to enforce certain outcomes. So check it out. Now he goes into a gather step instead of just going right up for a dunk. And then he also leans back. The guy wasn't even there yet. This dude, he wasn't even there yet. There was no contact yet. But he's forced to go into this leaning back animation. Also, look at this. This is actually a foul. They didn't call this a foul. All right, you can clearly see my man's got hands and arms all in his head and all type of shit. But they're not calling it a foul. Hands on his back. He do got his forearm on him. He leaning all into him, going. This is a foul all the way around by two different players hacking him. But I was not supposed to score this. So, you know, in the animation that I was forced to go into led to obviously me not getting the point either. All right. But just look at this again. This whole setup right here. That all of this was done deliberately to prevent me from actually scoring. I was forced into, or my player, my teammate was forced into a bad animation to prevent the point from being made. All of this was forced. This is a part of the narrative. All right, they have their own little slick ways of imposing their narrative, like this right here. Great example. And the animation was supposed to just been, which is basically the point that I'm making. the animation was supposed to have just been a regular dunk. Jump, dunk the ball. Jump, dunk the ball. But I was forced to go into this animation in order to give computer the ability to defend it. So I'd miss it. Let alone all of this, really, the whole string of series. The part where he catches the ball standing still instead of going into the basket. Then he catches the ball, and there's like a slight moment where he goes backwards instead of just going straight to the court. Everything led up to me not getting this bucket. All right, peace.